So it's no secret that I'm a fan of Spider-Man. I mean, if you check the channel, you'll see countless videos of me discussing the character and anything to do with him, really. So when I found out about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man finally releasing, I was pretty happy. It had slipped my radar beforehand, and I mean, I'd been following it since it was called Spider-Man Freshman Year. I just thought it had sort of been, cancelled quietly by Disney+. But no, it's here, so I want to talk about these first two episodes we've got, because they're interesting. Straight off the bat, I love the comic vibe with the cell shading, but I don't really like the voice acting. That felt a bit flat, so, visuals-wise, very good. Audio-wise, I mean, I can appreciate them trying to do something different in having Uncle Ben already be dead when Peter becomes Spider-Man, but isn't the whole point of the MCU that it's meant to be like the accurate version of these characters' stories? So surely they have to stick to the comic and show Uncle Ben getting murked, even if it has already happened 2 times on screen? I don't know. The more I watched this, the more I realized that it was sort of a different timeline that then led into the same sort of events as the MCU. I really have no clue what this show is meant to be doing. If anyone can clarify for me, that would be great, because, I mean, when I first heard about it and it was pitched as the prequel to the MCU Spider-Man. And, then it came out, I watched it, and it's not at all in the books. And, I mean, I do have a question, though, that does link into the MCU. Why is there immediately Doctor Strange in my Spider-Man show? I thought we were over this whole Spider-Man needs another Avenger to play second fiddle to him for his media to be worth it thing that was in the original trilogy. Iron Man in Homecoming, who was it in fucking Far From Home? Nick Fury, and then bloody Doctor Strange in No Way Home. It's stupid. I mean, anyway, it doesn't even matter because it's just a lazy way to get the spider into the story at the end of the day, so Spider-Man can get bitten. Anyway, I can appreciate the new version of the intro. I'm just happy to hear that iconic Spider-Man. Like, I'm glad that jingle is back. Like, I'm so happy that they sort of brought the old 80s cartoons theme into it somehow, because this is trying to be a new version of that, I think. So, fuck it. Let's do some stuff. Let's have some fan service in there. Now, the thing I saw a lot of people getting pressed on online was that Harry is black now, and I don't really give a fuck. We could change things and do different interpretations of characters. Why not? I know a bunch of people did have problems, but my biggest issue was that I wanted to see Harry Osborn played by Timothée Chalamet in the MCU. But then again, this is clearly a different version of the MCU that we know, so I don't know, maybe it could happen still. These new characters we get introduced, Nico and Pearl, I don't get why they're here, because, as I keep saying, I swear this is meant to take place before the MCU Spider-Man. Where do these characters suddenly go? Why are things different? I would say I guess we'll find out later, but again, I'm starting to realize this thing is meant to be like a different timeline version of the MCU. No real clue. And then in episode 1, there's a scene where Lonnie gets followed by a police car with a white officer in it, clearly for being black because he's in a bad neighborhood. And I gotta say, I'm just impressed that a Spider-Man cartoon went there on Disney Plus, no less. I mean, that takes some balls, and I gotta respect that. I was kind of iffy going into it, because there was literal days before it came out where you had a bunch of interviews where they were kind of terrible, and the actors were like, this seems like it's gonna be woke, and I'm not excited for it to release or whatever. Or I thought it was gonna be woke. Just bad stuff. But then they went and do something like this, and I got some respect. I got a lot of it, actually. Anyway, episode 1 ends with Norman Osborn's reveal, and it was very underwhelming. It felt like they wanted it to be this big thing, but it just didn't hit to me. But Disney released 2 episodes, beforehand. I don't really know why, but, so why not talk about it? The guy playing Norman Osborn plays him with a kind of evil undertone, which I like. It makes him uneasy from the off-go, and we know what happens with his character eventually, so I think it works. I didn't mention it earlier, but I really do like the swinging sequences in this show. Being animated allows for camera angles you just wouldn't be able to achieve, and, in live action. And, being animated also allows for a bunch of different camera angles and transitions, and just in general cinematography that we wouldn't be able to get in live action, because you can manipulate the scene more in animation. So I appreciate that, using the medium to its advantage. And then my next gripe. They renamed Kurt Connors and made him a woman. And look, maybe that really isn't that much different to making Harry black if you ask a certain person. But they didn't change any of his core attributes, like his name, his gender and how he acts and stuff. So that didn't really bother me as much as this one. But you do it to one of the main villains, one of the most iconic villains of all time, the Lizard. And yikes, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, for everything I like, they do something that is twice times as bad, and it makes me sit and watch the show and go, I'm a bit iffy. Anyway, the ending of episode 2, where we find out Norman Osborn knows Peter is Spider-Man, is a change of pace. I don't know how it's going to affect the rest of the story, but it is something. And, you know, those are just my thoughts on, you know, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the first 2 episodes. What do you guys think? I'm a bit iffy on it, to be honest. I really can't decide whether I like it or not. Do you guys like it? Do you hate it? I want to know all your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if I will be making a review of episode 3, but, you know, if I don't end up doing a weekly episode review, because I don't have much to say about this, honestly. I was really struggling to get this review out for 2 episodes. I will definitely come back, you know, at the end of the show to give a full series review. I'll do that. I don't mind doing that. But, yeah, just let me know what you want, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you later. Goodbye.